I'm Ryan Durbin from RD Ceramics, located in Highland Heights, Kentucky.
And I'm Becca Otis with Five Lines Pottery, and I'm located in Statesville, North Carolina. And welcome to Wheel Talk.
It's nicotine, by the way.
This is nicotine, by the way. Did you know nicotine is actually quite helpful for the ADHD brain?
I've heard it has some helpful uses.
It does.
Yeah, but it also probably a lot of downsides too.
In short quantities, no, it doesn't have a lot of downsides actually. Straight nicotine, like if it's like the
Pouch.
gum or the
Yeah,
pouch or whatever. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
I'm working
Yeah.
on it.
I
One,
tried the pouches. I tried to do the pouches, and I had a verbal, like, not a like a mouth, like I would throw up every time I put them
oh
in.
yeah. I've only tried it once and I was like, "Bleh, don't, not into that."
I've seen some mints. They're like these nicotine
Oh,
mints.
I should
Uh,
try that.
yeah, I'll send you one, and I'm sure you can find a knockoff that's cheaper.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's
Mm.
quite a way to start a podcast.
Yeah.
Well, it is true. Like, nicotine is proven to like really focus your brain and like do all these things in little shortness, especially if you have any neurodivergent type abilities. And we all work in things that we have to manage ourselves.
Yeah,
So,
totally. Just, use with caution because of the how highly
yeah,
addictive it is.
Hmm.
don't be smoking cigarettes. That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah,
No,
totally.
Yeah,
no
long way from
cigarettes.
cigarettes these days.
Yeah. Ew.
All
Yeah.
right, we got a guest back. It's been quite a while. I was looking back at when we last chatted with Liz, episode 140, like 200 episodes ago
Yeah.
plus.
I was thinking about that the other day and I was trying to like remember how long it had been, and it's been almost 4 years.
April of 2022.
Dang.
So we're pushing 4 years. Yeah, a lot's changed in four
Wow.
years.
Ooh. Yeah. What
That's
a
wild.
whirlwind.
Yeah, early days
Yeah.
of IG together.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I did go back and listen to it in prep for this because I was like, I gotta remember what stuff I said, and it also made me think of like what has changed since then. And yeah, it was just kind of weird to reflect on all of that. Um yeah, I feel like I was going somewhere else with that thought, and I don't remember.
Were there some highs from that listening back that you remember that was like, okay, like that was good?
Oh. Um
Because you were mainly talking about building a home studio. For that's
yeah,
what
that was
we
a
that's what we named it. So it was a lot of, hey, I'm
mhm.
building this place for me at my home that's separate from my actual inside my
Yeah.
house. But
Yeah, I don't know if there were a lot of highs necessarily. It was kind of just interesting to put myself back in that where I was then and try
Mm,
and remember how that felt. And it was really, yeah, it was just surreal. It's kind of surreal. And then just thinking of all the changes I've gone through, not just with my business, but with my life in those years is really trippy and strange.
mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah,
is it
it's
is
been
it nice to actually listen back to something like that? Because otherwise, going through like Instagram posts or something like that, you don't really get big chunks of time where you can actually listen to yourself
Yeah.
and kind of give yourself time to like draw it out and actually give all, a lengthy response to some of these questions.
Yeah, definitely. Because, yeah, if you scroll through Instagram, well, for mine, I don't put a lot of personal stuff on there. So it's hard for me to remember where I was when I made some pot that I posted or a reel or whatever that I posted. But yeah, it's a kind of like a longer snapshot of where I was from that time. And I think it's cool to see how I've grown since then.
mm,
And it's also very interesting to see how much I changed my mind since then on some of the things that I was working on or planning for. So yeah, I'm sure we'll get into some of that stuff.
Hmm.
yeah. It's crazy because like Oh my God. Where is that cup? I got one of my your very first cups that was like all funky and
Hmm.
I don't know where it is. It didn't show up in the boxes, but a lot of things didn't show up in the boxes with my parents. So, um but
Hmm.
it is fun to see like how you've kind of like progressed. And also you can like tell because you're such a calculated individual, like you can tell that like some over the years because I know you now, you can like
Hmm.
tell when you're like fuck it. Like yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
That's
like
true.
that.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember which cup you have.
It's a thumb indent cup that has yellow and it like went all the way around the thumb indent like and you weren't
Oh,
gonna sell it. You weren't gonna sell it and I was like, I'll take it.
okay. I'm
Yeah.
I have a vague image of it. I
Yeah.
haven't made many of those thumb cups. So
Mm-mm.
there's only a few I can recall, and I think I'm
Yeah.
remembering. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's yellow with green and maybe some red. But yeah, but that was like we were such young pups.
Little babies.
Little
Hmm.
babies.
Yeah. Dang, yeah, a lot of us have had some changes since then.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good thing though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
it's interesting
definitely
whenever I pull out some of the Monday mugs and it's like a real like Liz, I was looking at yours a few days ago and saw the where the handle placement is and the changes
hmm
it would be over time and it's like, oh yeah, yeah, that would sometimes I'm like, are people going to repost this or collaborate on it because it's so old looking? They're like, I don't really
Yeah,
want to remember that work.
right. There's the handle on that one. I'm like, ugh, no. I mean, I would repost it just
It's a
as like
good like
a
three finger handle, but yeah, it's like, but
yeah.
it also shows the growth of, oh, this is when I got it, and it probably was around the time that we recorded, maybe around 4 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Something I need to do is put dates on the bottom of my cups now, and I like keep saying that and or not just cups, but everything. Because I do that and I'm like, man, I wish I could remember when that was. So I need to start that.
Hmm.
Well, we view ceramics not as an art form, but as a like a tool, you know?
Hmm
And every painter from ever forever has dated their paintings, you know?
hmm
And the fact that we don't date our pots because it's just like something that, it's like whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Um yeah, it is kind of odd.
I think it would maybe make it seem more artistic in people's eyes if we dated them.
Collectible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I started
I,
dating them in 2021 or something, 2020 maybe. I was
nice.
handwriting it, and now I'll use a stamp that's like Roman numerals,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so it's
that's
nice and
smart.
easy to decipher. And then if I have some older pieces that I discover in the studio, I'll, sell them at a discount or put them in mystery boxes or something like that to just get the out with the old, in with the new kind of thing.
Yeah. That's true. That's a good way to like track your inventory and see
Hmm.
the old stuff. The old stuff needs to go kind of thing.
Yeah. More recently, I've been doing them with the spoon rests. I do the mystery spoon rests for like 25% off. And I
Hmm
just put the ones that are dated 2024 or older now that it's 26.
Yeah.
So they just go in there and they just get sold at a discount and just get them
Nice.
out.
Yeah, that's a
Uh,
good idea.
we never actually, you should probably tell people who you are.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we kind of messed this up. So my name is Liz Cohen. My business is Liz Cohen Ceramics. Should I do like a full-on introduction of like a little back, not maybe not a full, but like a background?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Or if people don't know your work, how would you explain your
Oh,
work or what you're doing in your
yeah.
studio these days?
Yeah. So, well, you can, if you want to see my work, you can go to Instagram. It's Liz Cohen Ceramics. Cohen is spelled Cohen. Um, Same, my website's the same. So my work is, it's kind of, it's evolved, but it's retro inspired, like retro and mid-century modern design inspired. And, I use a lot of bright colors. contrasted with raw speckled tan clay. And I make mostly functional work, and I'm moving more into decorative stuff right now, but that's kind of, um, my work summed up very quickly. And I've been working with clay since 2010. Yeah,
I was
2010.
wondering if you were gonna have to like change your words to 2000 something. You know how
Oh,
like when you start, you're like 20, oh no, 2008. Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it worked
2008.
out there. I think 2010, I was a sophomore in college and took clay classes, and that's kind of where I found clay. And then I, did as many clay classes in school as I could and graduated with a studio art major from Georgia State University. And immediately after college, I moved out to Denver, where I am now. And I worked uh, you know, some restaurant industry jobs, and I worked at a hospital for a couple years, and I did a remote job, which led me into doing pottery full time. The remote job helped me transition because it was, I could be in my studio while I was on the clock. And so I went full time in 2021, February of 2021. So it's been five
Nice.
years now.
Does it feel like that long?
No.
No.
mhm.
I mean, it's sometimes yes, sometimes no, but looking back on it, no, it feels very recent,
Yeah,
actually.
that was pretty, so that was still pretty new. You're still like a year in it the last time we chatted.
Yeah, yeah, that was kind of crazy.
Does
Dang.
does that time frame feel like it is it like exponentially faster progressing once you're full time compared to straddling it part time for so long?
Do you mean like how the work has developed or?
Yeah, the developing or just how you feel you're progressing in your business, I guess.
Oh, I gotcha. Hmm, not necessarily, not for me at least. Maybe some people would say differently, but there's been a lot of changes within the 5 years that I have been doing it full time that I don't feel like I've like hit a stride to where like year to year things are predictable. If you can ever have predictability in this
Hmm.
industry, but my living situation, my studio situation, those have changed quite a bit since I went full time. So I don't even feel like I can it's things have evolved and I have progressed, but I wouldn't say it's been exponential.
Okay.
I still feel like I'm
The spring
figuring it
chicken.
out, figuring out how to make it work.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did mention you were in a home studio when we last spoke. You've moved into a shared studio and, you know, you mentioned a little, the life changes as well. Like, was it strictly moving out of a home that prompted the move, or were there intermediate steps of shifting to a studio space that's outside of a home studio?
Well, I can just kind of talk about the how all of this has progressed, like kind of, the timeline, because that I think will probably answer that question. So gosh, I have to think about what year it was. What are we, 2026 right now?
Hmm.
So 2022, August of 2022, my partner and I moved. So he had a business at home. He was a personal trainer, training out of our garage, and I had my studio in the back that we built. And he was reaching us like a limit with his business. You can only do so much out of your home, as far as having like new clients that you don't know personally coming to your house. So we decided it had kind of been a dream of ours to have our businesses under one roof and eventually find us like this was one stepping stone towards eventually having our businesses in a place that we owned and that we lived in. So it would be like hybrid commercial living situation.
Hmm.
We would either like live upstairs of whatever building or live in the back of whatever. And so um, we decided to move forward and sign a lease on a commercial space. It's essentially just a warehouse space. It wasn't like open to the public and stuff. Um, so we had that built out to split the warehouse into two halves. One half was for his gym, and the other half was for my studio. And we had two rooms up front that was like a lounge area with a fridge and stuff. And then the second room was an office slash packing room. That's where I currently work out of right now. We have a year and a half-ish left on that lease. So August of 2027, we'll be done with that. Uh,
Those are long leases, huh?
yeah, 5-year lease.
Whoa.
Yeah. We could have offered to have a shorter lease, but we wanted to look more desirable to the landlord as tenants. So yeah, that was quite a process. Trying to remember, like the process for that was interesting, but surprisingly easier than I had expected to get into. Um, but yeah, moved out of the home studio and into that space. And in the middle of that time, he and I split up. We're still both working out of there and we're still on good terms and everything. Like we're still good friends and all that. But yeah, that's why we're not kind of continuing with those long-term dreams that we had of like
Hmm.
owning a space together and stuff like that. So not sure what the next move for me will be, but I have a year and a half to decide, or more like a
Hmm.
year probably. I should decide
Yeah.
before the lease is completely ended.
That's plenty of time.
Yeah, totally.
You got it.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, I guess I could talk about my space, the studio
Yeah.
space that I have now.
Yeah.
Um, so I originally thought when we moved in that I would just share it with like maybe one or two other artists because the goal was to start wholesale and like have a bunch of molds and do kind of a larger scale production out of that studio. So I didn't think I'd have room for sharing it with many other people. But as I was doing that, working towards a wholesale line and making the kind of work that I sell on my website, I kind of felt like my time was better spent making the higher price pieces. I get a lot more for one piece that I could, or I could get about the same for one piece that I could for 5 or 6 wholesale pieces, essentially.
Hmm.
So I kind of shifted my direction there. I don't know if I'll ever do wholesale, especially if I start like if where I'm going, the trajectory works out the way I am hoping. I don't think I'll ever do wholesale. It just doesn't seem like it is worth my time.
Hmm.
Starting it up would take a lot of time. Eventually, I thought I would hand it off to somebody and they could run
Hmm.
it, and then it could be mostly passive for me. But to get to that point, I felt like I was gonna waste a lot of time and not make a lot of money. So
Yeah.
I pivoted. Um, and so my side of the studio or my side of the warehouse is like 1,500 square feet. So I decided to break that up into smaller spaces. I have right now I have 10 6 foot by 6 foot spaces.
Dang.
They line the walls um, of that space. And so I rent those out to other ceramic artists. Um, if for the listeners, if you want to see what it looks like, it's on my Instagram on the story highlight. So I have that up for people that want to rent the space. You know, when I'm looking for someone to fill a spot, I like kind of try and direct them there. I also have a
Hmm.
Facebook listing for the space, which is how I found most people. But yeah, it's interesting. I rent out on a month to month basis because for like a couple of reasons for me and for the artist, I no ceramic artists are on a budget. Most of the time, we don't have tons of money. So, if someone's financial situation changes, I want them to be able to, leave if they need to do that in order to, keep paying their essential bills. So, that's for them. And also for me, if someone is just not working out, I can be like, hey, I'm sorry. Um,
Mm,
gotta, I don't know. I haven't had to do that, so I don't even have the words for how I would say that to someone, but it's more of a protection for me so that if someone's
mm,
being an issue, I don't have to like have them on a lease for a year or,
mm.
you know, any
It could
more
put
than
a
a month.
damper on the whole studio if there. It just takes one or two. Or
Yeah.
two of the people, not even with you. They could both be like tiffing with one another, and it's just like you're both like
Yeah.
you're killing the vibe in here.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta go. Luckily everyone's been chill. Yeah, I haven't had any issues really. Um, yeah, there's
So,
really been no
so they
issues.
pretty much get and you said they're all ceramic artists, so they get a 6x6, and
Mhm.
then you have shared kilns and
Yeah. Yeah,
equipment like slab
so
rollers and stuff like that.
yep. So the space itself for each person, they have some shelves there, they have a pegboard, and that's it. So whatever they want to use, they bring in. So if they throw on the wheel, they need to bring a wheel. If they hand build, I guess they could bring a table for their small space, but most of people throw. I do have a big table in the middle. It's like 4 by 8 feet. Yeah, four
Yeah,
by
that's a
eight
big table.
feet. Yeah, it's big and it has stools around it. So that's for everyone to work on, hand build, glaze, whatever they need to do. And then I have a wedging table, a slab roller, and I have overflow shelves. So the overflow shelves, each person gets a 2 foot by 4 foot shelf. And then the kiln firings are included in the rent, and I load
Nice.
and unload the kilns. Yeah. So it's a pretty sweet deal for like if I this is kind of what I would maybe want if I was like when I move out of the space I'm in now, I'm like, man, I wish I could find a space that, had rent this cheap and this stuff available because that would be close to what I'd want. I'd probably fire a little too frequently for a space like that, but um
Hmm.
yeah, it's $300 a month. So
For each of the 6x6 spaces.
hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
where like you can pay for a 6 week class and it's like $300, but then you can only go like once a week and
Hmm.
maybe outside of the studio, outside of your class time here and there in a studio like that, like a community studio, and then you're limited to it's all shared. So all the wheels, if everyone's on a wheel, you don't get a
Hmm.
wheel, you can't work that day or whatever. And a lot of places like that, even if you have a membership, you get like one little shelf to put your stuff on, and that's it.
Right.
So I was like, I wanted to make it accessible, help me pay my rent, and yeah, help other artists kind of like with that step after for someone who wants to turn a hobby into a business. Essentially, that's kind of what the space is for. So it's independent. You work on your own.
Hmm.
You're surrounded by other people, but no one's holding your hand. But
Right.
it's kind of I see it as an in between someone who's like done taking classes at a community studio, but doesn't have the funds yet to like have their own private studio space or build a
Hmm.
space on their property or
Or
for
they like
maybe,
have an apartment, or they
yeah,
have a home studio that they're renting that they can't actually do all the electrical work and shit.
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So
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 that
so are most of them kind of side hustling it currently, or are some of them full time and
it's
keeping
kind
a
of a
part-time job?
it's kind of a mix. Nobody there right now is doing it full time. Um, yeah, it's kind of a mix. Some people are teaching classes at other studios and they might have another part-time job. Some of them have full-time jobs and just use the studio outside of their job, their 40-hour work
Yeah.
week. Um, I'd say if
Yeah.
a few of them sell at markets or I have one person right now who's selling in a gallery. And then Yeah. So, and then some people are just doing it as a really as a hobby. Um, I've had a couple people like come and go that's the case for them.
Yeah,
Do you
that's a nice
have
setup.
any do you have any like success stories
Um,
or things that you're like really proud of? Like when somebody
well,
came in and somebody left, or somebody's come in and they've like really progressed or anything like that?
yeah, there's been a couple that have come in. They were some of the ones that made a lot more than the others, and then they decided to either find another studio space that was either closer to them, had different things that I don't offer. And one person, she built a studio in her backyard, so she just, moved there. So I think that would be a success story. My friend
Yeah.
Brooklyn, she was making a lot and she's selling at markets and sells online. And so she was at max capacity, I'd say. Luckily,
Hmm.
like the rest of the people renting from me weren't producing a ton, so it wasn't an issue. And like as long as we're getting work through the kilns at a good pace, I like however much work you're making is fine. But if it backs up, then your stuff is going to get pushed to the back of the line. But yeah, she was able to make quite a bit of stuff, and yeah, eventually found enough success to where she wanted to move it to her house and do it all
Yeah.
from there. So
She kind of can also see what's involved because if she's there while you're loading kiln, she can kind of see what's
mhm.
involved there. Oh, I got to do maintenance on my kiln. Oh, can I come in when you're doing that the next time?
Yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah,
Speaking of maintenance, who's your maintenance lady?
Becca's helped me out. She
I'm just
changed my
kidding.
elements.
I did.
I will say, I know how to change elements and I have done it before. I just didn't want to.
Totally
So,
fair.
so
Totally
yeah,
fair.
Becca, you came in clutch then for that.
I try my
Also,
hardest.
it hurts my back a lot to bend into the kiln like that. Like I remember the last time I did it, I was like, this fucking sucks.
It
I
does suck.
was
Do you have
sore.
a really deep, like a big kiln? Do you have like a 10 cubic foot or a 7 cubic foot? What do you
It's
got?
It's
seven
7.
cubic feet.
Okay.
But yeah,
But
I just
it still hurts.
Hmm.
Like,
yeah.
still hurts.
Yeah. I've only changed the elements on that kiln once,
Hmm.
and I hope I'm gonna have to end up doing it again. I'll probably take it up, like take the layers apart to do it next time because
Mm,
I don't want to be
Well, you
leak.
have a scut, so it's easy to take the layers apart.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
some kilns, it's not easy to take the layers apart, and I would die before I took the layers apart. Like
Yeah.
a cone art, I would die before I took the back off of that motherfucker.
Yeah.
So, but a scut's easy peasy. You can just put it up on a table and
Oh,
there you go.
they're so nice.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have a ton of helpful videos on their website too for people that
Yeah.
don't know what they're doing.
Hmm.
Because also with the shared studio space, like with 6 or 10 people, it sounds like you're probably a
Yeah.
good chunk of what's going through the kiln every kiln load, I would guess, unless they're
Yeah.
producing a lot. So they're renting a space from somebody, you're kind of at the mercy of how much they bisque fire, and you kind of like, do I do a separate
Hmm.
bisque firing at a certain temperature just for you, or I don't know if
Yeah.
you have multiple kilns. You have like a 3 cubic foot one and a 7 cubic foot, so you can like, oh, we can like run this one quickly.
Hmm.
We don't have to wait for the big one to fill, or.
Yeah. So I just have my Scut 1027 and I have it's not a test kiln, but it's a size above that. I can't 808, I think it's got 808 or something. So you can fit like, I don't know, 6 mugs in there maybe.
Hmm.
Um, you could fit
Yeah, it's like a 6 foot, or not 6 foot, it's like a 6 inch shelf
yeah,
that's
maybe a
an
little bit
octagon.
bigger. Yeah, it's an octagon. I
Yeah.
can fit, I think 4 mugs not touching in on one layer. So maybe I could
Yeah.
fit 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
It's
like, I think
It's
it's
like a
like,
1.5 cubic feet or something like that.
it's like 18 inches tall
something.
or, yeah. It's not very
Yeah.
tall, but it's not very short, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do a layer. You can do a few layers of really short things, or you
Yeah.
can do about 2 layers of a mug. Um,
Hmm.
Yeah.
yeah.
It is infuriating if something is just too big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you got to wait for the big kiln. But before that, so that's what I have right now. Uh, one of the people renting from me, I have three hookups for like big kilns. So I only have I'm using one of those. I got three in case I needed it, I guess. I
Hmm.
had them put that in before we moved in.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah, because it's like it's not that much extra for them to add two more outlets when they're already putting one in. So that's kind of for extra kiln. So I had someone that had a kiln that wanted to use it, and it was kind of that medium size where if you didn't have a full load for my bigger kiln, we could fit it in that one, and that was really nice to have that middle ground there to um yeah, to get people's work through and not have a partially full bigger kiln. But right now it's kind of just as the work piles up on the shelf, I put it in the kiln. It is mostly mine right now. It's kind of interesting. People right now haven't been in the studio very much. I don't know
Hmm.
what that's about, but
It's the weather.
yeah, and probably I don't know. Don't want to get into politics, but yeah, people be sad these days. So I don't know. They're just that's putting it lightly. Yeah, I don't know. We're experiencing a lull, I'll say that.
Hmm.
So, which is fine because that means it's less work for me and I'm still
And
getting paid the
they're still
same.
in the space and they're still paying the bill monthly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly. So, I have 8 spaces filled right now out of 10. Looking for two more at this moment. So, if any listeners uh
and is it in
hear
Denver
about it.
or is it a specific city that
It's Denver
Mm.
proper. Yeah.
Denver.
okay.
hmm It's really close to the Santa Fe Arts District for people that are familiar with the area. It's off of 8th, essentially 8th and Federal. We're just a
Right
few,
off the freeway.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
super easy to get to. Um, yeah, I think, I can't remember what I was gonna say about that. But yeah, we all fire to mid-range. But if I tell everyone if there's a specific firing schedule or temperature they need, then we can do that. They just need to let me know and we make it happen. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Does
It,
managing the other folks in the studio, does that change how you make or sell your stuff?
Not really. No, it takes some of the financial pressure off. I think that's the biggest like impact it has on me and my business. Uh, so it makes it a little less stressful to pay the bills because I have them contributing essentially towards my rent. And if I have all the spaces full, I'm covered completely and with like maybe $100 extra like
Hmm.
profit.
Hell yeah.
So I'm not really trying to like turn this into a profitable business. I'm just
Hmm.
trying to pay for my studio space and provide um affordable studio space for other people.
And we thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a big group of people that kind of don't get a lot of attention. If you're at that stage of your business, you're kind of like, out of school and looking for options. And
Mhm.
I get messages here and there of like, do you offer services to fire? I just got one a few days ago. Like, do you offer services to fire your kiln? Like,
Totally.
and then I'm like, okay, do I weigh having someone come in? Do I want to risk my kilns? How much more like overhead and effort am I going to work with dealing with somebody else?
Yeah, it's that can be a lot. I have considered, and I have done it. I have done kiln firing for people. I've had some people reach out and people that have rented space from me that have moved out but still like might be making some stuff in their apartment or whatever. I'll fire work for them. So, but right now, like moving forward, I realized that it is not worth my time to really do that unless they can fill up the kiln. And that's
Mm.
kind of been what I'm telling people now. The people that I've been doing it for, it's like infrequent that it's fine still to do that. But for anyone new coming in, I'm like, yeah, I'll fire your work, but you have to fill the kiln because it's not worth it for me to nickel and dime. Like, you need 3 mugs fired. Like, I don't know, pay me $10. I got to make sure I'm at
Hmm.
the studio when you can be at the studio so you can drop it off because it's not uh
They can just leave it
people.
outside on the doorstep or something.
Yeah, it's not a retail space, so there's not someone there all the time. So
Yeah.
I have to make sure that I am there to meet them and it's not worth my while for just
Hmm.
$10 or something like that. So, um,
And then do they,
yeah.
and then they would have to either, if they have the whole kiln, they would have to tell you what temperature they want rather than like, these are the temperatures we do. So
Yeah.
if you're going to drop off half a shelf load, you're going to have to be fine with the temperatures we do. And then,
Yeah.
because there's intricacies of like, well, I fired a '08 bisque.
Hmm.
That means your absorbency is going to be higher when you glaze stuff. So
Yeah.
if you do that and then you bring it back for glaze and it fucks up or something goes wrong, partially it's because of the bisque, but like, do I educate them on that or just say like, hey, you need to go elsewhere and just do an
Right.
04? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I think people that are doing small little bits like that need to find a place that is like that's part of their business model to fire other people's work. But they'd still potentially run into the same issues like with the temperatures.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, that's why it's also just easier to say full kiln load because then I can do whatever they want. Like if they want '06, I can do that. If they want '04, I can do that. If they want a glaze to cone 5, I can do that. And I glaze my kiln to like cone 5.5 for my glazes and stuff. So,
Hmm.
um,
Becca, yes, your hand is raised.
Yes.
thought you were.
How much do you charge? How much do you charge for a full kiln load?
Let me pull up my notes because I made like a little, it's pretty much a response to people that inquire about it. Um, I just copy and paste it now and send it as a response to the email that they send me. Um, so for a glaze, I charge 95 and a bisque, I charge 80.
Okay.
Yeah. And I feel like that's very reasonable if you go and look at other places that do firings.
Well, and you're also in Denver proper.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Electricity bills and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's my time, it's my piece of equipment, the wear and tear, potential damage to my shelves. But I also tell them like if a shelf is damaged, you're just if I can't like easily grind it off, they're gonna be responsible for replacing it.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Them's the rules.
Yeah.
That is the rules. I'm not gonna lie. If somebody fired in my kiln and they got something stuck to my shelves and I didn't have advancers, even if I did have advancers and they got it majorly stuck to my shelf, they're buying me a new fucking kiln shelf. I don't fucking care. I don't care if I
Yeah.
can grind it off.
They'd be like,
Yeah.
it wasn't my choice that you had all advancers.
Right?
That's the
Well,
Yes.
risk you run.
You owe me
like
$200, please.
even when you have a catastrophic like melt on advancers, you still deal with that for some time afterwards if you
Yeah.
don't treat it properly, you know?
Mm,
So,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, luckily I haven't really run into that yet. I've had some stuff on the shelves before, but I can use an angle grinder and get it off
yeah.
pretty easily. But
Yeah.
even if I did have to replace a shelf, I think it's like the one for my kiln is like 20, a half shelf is like $25. It's really not
Yeah.
that bad. So, you know,
Yeah.
and then
Maybe
I
you
get a new
save
shelf.
the like quote unquote. I don't know. I feel like I would rather do it on the advancer, but if that's the risk of complete meltdown,
Yeah.
hmm,
I don't have the budget for advancers. Maybe one day.
maybe
I
someday. Yeah.
also my my work doesn't isn't risky to fire at all. So I never felt the need to get that. Since I've been firing other people's work, it's like I can see potentially I don't know.
You probably benefit more from the weight, that it's less weight and less wear and tear on your body.
Yeah, oh yeah. And then just yeah, fitting more in the kiln would be nice too, since they're
Hmm.
skinny
Yeah.
or thinner. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't the cost benefit is not there for me right
Hmm.
now.
I totally
Yeah.
agree with like what you do because I
Mhm.
do the same type of work in the sense where I know it will never drip on
Yeah.
the kiln shelf.
Yeah.
So, and when you are the only one doing that, like it makes absolutely no sense. Like I just use a
Yeah.
$20 shelf and some alumina.
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
fuck all the way off.
I still use kiln wash, but yeah, I don't really I could honestly get away without kiln wash.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah,
If
when
it
you
was
dial
just
it in,
my
it's so
work.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you have like shitty ass students, fuck that shit. Advance it
Yeah.
all the way.
Yeah. Yeah, or
Yep.
just people that are newer to glazing,
Yeah.
or they're testing out a new glaze combo that they saw on the little Facebook page or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can
Hmm.
be a disaster.
Can we talk about your making process a little bit more?
Yeah.
So I think when we talked last time, you were probably primarily wheel throwing everything, right? What are
Yeah, and
you doing now?
I was starting to do molds then too, and that was for wholesale.
Mm,
Um, I am still primarily throwing everything. There's some things that I hand build, but that's kind of I do like a combination of hand building and wheel throwing with some of my stuff. Like some of it needs a slab added to it.
hmm
So it'll be a thrown piece that maybe I cut down the middle and then put those on slabs as it's like a wall planter. I've done some of those and I want to do more of those. Haven't done very many. And then I'm doing some lamps and I've done some like oval shaped ones. So for those, I need a slab top for them. So that's kind of the hand building that I do with my work mainly. I don't like, there's no pinch pots, there's no coiling, nothing like that. So it's
hmm
mainly a slab added to something else that I've thrown on the wheel. And for molds, I'm also doing a little bit of molds, using molds right now. And I have ideas for more. But right now, the only molds I use are for this wall tile thing that I made. And I have plans for other shapes of those, but I'm casting those. And I also cast my handles, but that's
Okay, I was
like
thinking
different.
maybe some of the mug bodies because I knew the handles were cast. I didn't know if some of the mugs
No, I
were
still
cast.
still never figured out how to make like a speckled clay into a casting slip.
Hmm.
It's I don't know. I have no idea how to
Because
do it.
this,
I've tried
yeah, the
so many
speckle
things.
is important to the aesthetic you're going for. So, but the
Yeah.
handles aren't speckled clay, or because they're
So,
solid, it's different.
yep. So I turn my um like dry scraps into casting slip, but it would not be good for really anything other than what I'm using it for handles
Mm,
because it's not the properties of it are not, you know, what they need to be to cast vessels. They don't the absorption is off, the deflocculation, it won't deflocculate. If you deflocculate it properly, all the sand and manganese separates and like goes to the bottom, sinks to the
Hmm.
bottom. So like if you're gonna get your mold to drain properly, you're not gonna have an even coating of speckles.
It's just gonna be a bunch
And
of black specks at the bottom of the pot, basically,
yeah.
that's
Yeah, or
touching
sometimes
the
it'll be
mold.
like a across the side and like some weird like
Oh,
yeah, it's just so inconsistent.
hmm.
But it still doesn't even dry out properly. It would take forever to dry and remove from the mold. So it's really only good for solid casting. And since it is solid and it's so small, like a handle is pretty small, I can get away with it. So I deflocculate it just enough to get it to flow into the mold. And
mm.
yeah, so it's still kind of goopy, but it's flowable. It has viscosity, but it's not super, or I guess the viscosity is higher because it's thicker. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, that's what I cast with the speckled clay. I still throw the mud bodies,
Okay.
and that's, you know.
Hey, folks, we are taking a quick break from the episode to tell you about our sponsor, Speedball. Welcome back, Speedball, for another season of Wheel Talk. Appreciate your continued support, as always. We are looking forward to seeing them at Ensika, myself especially. Becca will not make it, but I'm looking forward to demoing with them and also checking out some of the newest products they have available. They are releasing a new line of glazes. I can't tell you about them just yet. They're saving it for Ensika, but if you are going to be there, you should definitely stop by the booth. I will be signing some bats as well as they'll be giving those out. They'll be giving out glaze samples. They'll be giving out underglazes, all those good things. So you should definitely stop by the booth. They are going to be at booth 301 in the resource hall. I will be there to demo on. Check that really quick. I should have been more prepared. I'm going to be there Thursday morning with Erica from 10 to 11:45. So I will be doing some carving. Erica will be doing some underglaze application. She does all of the brushing and underglazing, so she is the best person to share about that for my business and my process. So we will be happy to see you. I might even have something to give you. So definitely say hi. I'll definitely have some Wheel Talk stickers, but also I might have a little something to give you as well if you ask. So yeah, thanks so much, Speedball, for supporting the show. And we look forward to sharing what the new glazes are after Ensika. Again, check them out at booth 301 in Detroit if you're going to be there. Also, I would love to see you at one of my other demos or the pop up I'm going to be at. I will be at the A Fair Amount of Color pop up at the Trumbull and Porter Hotel on Thursday night from 5 to 7. So come by, see my work. I will bring a lot of Sgraffito work there using the Speedball underglazes as well as some newer slipcast pieces that are using the Speedball underglazes as well. So definitely check those out. I would love to see you. Say hi, even if I don't see you in the booth, if you just see me around the conference. But thanks, Speedball. And if you would like to check out more about Speedball's products, see all the new things that they're coming out with, you can check out speedballart.com. And let's get back to the episode. Thanks so much. Are
Just
you doing any jolly jiggering kind of stuff with the, you were doing the slabs, or was that mostly for the wholesale for the slabs, putting them in the mold and,
yeah, I used the slabs in the mold, and those were for plates. And those, I had a dinnerware line that I was working on, and that was the method for making those, and those worked pretty well. I just decided that I didn't want to do that anymore. Um, for I don't know, a few reasons. The failure rate was too high. Fitting plates in the kiln is just a pain in the ass.
hmm
Um, dinnerware sets, there's like 6 to 8, so that's just a lot of plates for one order. It didn't the price point wasn't worth all the work. I didn't feel like I could charge enough to get what made it feel worth it for me.
hmm
And also, I just wanted to work on other things. Making plates over and over, the same thing over and over
yeah.
is just like not not it for me. Yeah.
Becca, yes.
Uh, I think that the only kiln, the smallest kiln that works for plates is a 10 cubic foot kiln
Yep, that makes sense.
because
Because
you
mine
can
is a little
fit,
too small.
yeah, because you can fit it on a half shelf and
Yeah,
then
you
you
could
can
fit
fit things
two.
around it. Yeah.
Yeah, you could do two on a half each half shelf, so you could have four on a layer in a 10
Yeah.
cubic foot. But yeah, my seven, I could fit two like at an angle, so one on each half shelf, and they had to be right to fit inside like that hexagon or octagon or whatever.
hmm
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
Because you're talking
curve.
like 12-inch kind of, or so
Yeah, they were
between 10 and
pretty
12-inch plates. Yeah.
dinner plate. Yeah, they were pretty wide.
Yeah. So if your future is plates, don't be getting a 7 cubic foot kiln.
Or
Mm-mm.
you just have to use a bunch of full shells and like
Or use or find a fucking like
Rectagon.
rectangle
rectagon.
rectagon kiln. A rectagon kiln.
New word.
Yep.
Yeah. Um, or also you should also make a bunch of other really short, flat things.
Things.
Yeah. Like
Bunch
that
of
should
spoon
be
rest.
your, yeah, lots of spoon rests or like jewelry would be great for that. Little tiny cups or something like pinch pot type
Yeah.
cups, something
Yeah.
small just to
They got
fill
some
the
of those
rest of
like
the.
plate stacker shelf things, but I
Hmm.
don't know. It's just not a super efficient way to do plates.
Yeah, I
No, it
agree.
is. It is if you have the right things to go with it.
Yeah.
Okay? You just have to
Mm,
have the right things to go with it.
yeah.
But it and the right kiln.
Yeah. I was gonna
And the
say
right kiln.
probably still want that 10 cubic foot for that.
Yeah.
I found like 8 of those plate stacker things at a secondhand art supply store for like $15. I was like, I've struck gold. Uh, and I did use those and they were nice. They helped a lot, but, and they were the big ones. Like
Oh,
they
I was
fit
gonna
my
say,
12
were
inch.
they actually this too just too small or something for what
No,
you need?
they were a good size for my, I could put the dinner plates on it. It was crazy. But yeah, I don't really need them. I'll keep them, but I don't really need them now for what I'm doing. But yeah, to go back to the making method, I was taking a slab and laying it into a plaster mold that I had made, and then like spinning it on the wheel and sponging across it to like compress it into the plaster, and then I would trim the rim off to get like an even rim, but then I would have to take it out of the plaster mold, put it on a back on the wheel, and then trim it some more, trim the rim some more because I couldn't get like a perfect edge.
So you like flip it once out of the plaster, flip it back again to get it right side up, put it back on the
Hmm.
wheel, trim it. Okay.
Yeah, so
Dry it nicely, hopefully
yeah,
no
yeah.
issues.
And I'm sure there was a faster way that I could have done that. Becca shakes her head no. Wait, for my level of precision with my work, maybe there wasn't a faster way to do it. If you want to be all wabi-sabi, wonky,
Hmm.
you can get away with a different method, but
I would
It,
fight anybody that said there was a faster way for your plate specifically.
yeah.
I would fight.
I tried the
besides
slab.
using an actual like, a Jolly Jigger thing
Yeah,
that
that
has
would
an
be
arm
nice.
on it, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that still wouldn't even be faster.
And there's a lot of reclaim too that comes with one of
Yeah.
those bad
mhm,
boys. You need a
yeah,
pug mill.
have to have a pug mill. Is there a
Mhm.
pug mill in your studio? Your
No,
show studio?
no.
Nice.
I thought about getting one when I was like started the plates because I also had a lot of scraps from the plates, trimming the rim. Well, I started with a slab that's rolled out, then I have to cut a circle out of that. So there's that scrap. Then I'd lay it in the mold, cut that edge off. There's that
Hmm.
scrap, and then cut the rim even nicer once it's out of the mold. And then there's that scrap. So there was a lot. That's another reason why I don't want to do those two because it's just like a lot of reclaim that I didn't want to do, and I didn't want to buy a pug mill just for that because I feel like that's the only reason I would have gotten a pug mill. So
Yeah.
I
yeah,
feel like this episode should just be called Maybe Not Plates.
I mean, that's why plates are so expensive. You're like,
yeah,
oh yeah, I'll make
It's
a
true.
plate.
hmm yeah. Let's see. I was charging I think 65 for a dinner plate.
And were
Yeah.
those your standard kind of like wholesale line plates? Or
They're
were
just
those like
super.
fancy ones that had a bunch of colors and stuff on them?
Oh no. So these were like the basic ones. So there was white on the entire surface. I taped a line around the edge, or like towards the edge of the plate, towards the rim. And then the rim on the inside and outside of the rim that had a color on it. So it's just white and one other color with a taped line. And those were 65, I believe. My fancier plates that have like a stencil or I tape a fancy design, those are like close to 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those could be decor or they could be, you know.
Yeah, you could hang it on the wall or something. Or you could use it as like a cheese plate or something like
Hmm.
that.
Yeah, when I was asking about your forms, I was thinking you were moving some more into slip casting because of the precision, but otherwise you just have to be very scientific and specific with your throwing to where it's
Yeah.
just so accurate.
Yeah. Yeah, I've made so many mugs now. I feel like I've got the throwing those down, like they're super consistent. Like um, within like a couple millimeters height wise, they vary, and then same
Hmm.
like width wise, they vary. But I upped the weight of those a little bit because my rims were too thin, and I decided I wanted a thicker rim to match the handle a little bit more and just for warping and
Hmm.
overall sturdiness. So I throw 1.25 pounds for mugs now, but yeah, they're super consistent. I mean, they're super
Nice.
basic, so you know,
Well, yeah, they're the canvas for your design normally,
yeah.
so, you know. If
Hmm.
you had a magic wand and you did have a slip cast body that could look just like your throne one, would you pick one or the other? How would you decide?
So I would pick specific forms to cast for sure, like 100% mugs. Absolutely would cast those. Uh, I still love throwing though, so they're like, and I want to be able to throw different things. So the like fancier one-off pieces, I'd throw those for sure. Larger pieces, absolutely throw those. Anything over like 6 inches, I'd probably want to throw. Yeah, in either direction.
Is that mostly just the amount of time it takes, or for the slip to dry, or the amount of slip you actually need to fill a bunch, or mold making of something that big is
Um,
challenging?
it does go through more slip, and then the molds for something that size take up more space. So yeah, if I had like tons of space, which right now I do kind of, but I don't have a slip casting body that I like
Hmm.
enough. But
Yeah.
um yeah, it's for those reasons. The space and the slip, and it's heavier the bigger it gets. Um yeah, that's kind of, I
Okay.
mean, you can totally cast things bigger than
Hmm.
6 or 8 inches if you want, but um I just like throwing a lot too, so I never want to not throw. I just want to throw more unique things, you know.
Right.
Yeah. The slip that I'm using for the wall tiles, it's it's not speckled, and I'm okay with that because it's kind of it falls into a different category of work for me because it's more wall decor. So I feel like the separation there, it's enough for me to like feel okay with that difference. I would like to have speckles on them. And I've played around with like adding manganese to underglaze.
Ooh.
I don't know if this
Oh
is
yeah,
too late.
speckled underglaze. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was calcining granulated manganese. So for those that don't know, it's just firing that in a kiln at a super low temperature, like 018 something, just enough to like make them not dissolvable in water. And so I was mixing that in to underglaze that I had mixed like two different colors to get like close to my tan color. I'm still kind of tweaking it, and it shows a lot of promise, but it's just another extra step, for
Hmm.
all of that.
But I will say, okay, I have told Link that we need a clear underglaze so many times, and she was like, I don't understand it. And I was like, listen, there are so many applications that would be useful. For one, that. Two, you're putting stroking coats on top of your clay. When you put stroking coats on top of an underglaze, as opposed to putting stroking coats on top of just clay, you're getting a separation that's so much sharper and
Hmm.
it like bumps up a little bit more. So you get that texture and that like that sharp line that you
Hmm.
wouldn't see otherwise if it was just on clay. And
Yeah.
and the only people that care about that are me and you.
Yeah. The tape girlies.
Yeah, like we're the
Yeah.
only people that care about that, but it actually does matter.
Hmm.
And it's just that we have such precise work that we notice it and like nobody else really cares.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people are okay with it being a little less crisp, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, some of my
Hmm.
work, like most of my work, I don't have underglaze underneath it. And I get pretty crispy lines, but I could definitely, it could be crispier, you know?
They're crispy. They're crispy by themselves, but if you were going from a non-underglaze surface to an underglaze surface with that line, you would definitely see the difference.
Oh, yeah, if you crossed over. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, I support this.
A clear underglaze is a great idea. I feel like it would just be like water and gum solution, and I don't really know what else.
I don't either, and I have so many people have looked at me like I was a total and complete idiot. And I'm like, I'm so sorry that you think I'm dumb.
It's just like in paint, there's the mediums you add to paint to
Yeah,
thin them out or have give them different
yeah.
properties. It would be something like that, and you would just use it by itself. You wouldn't mix it with an colored underglaze. You would just use the
But you
medium
could,
by
you
itself. Yeah,
could.
yeah, you
Like
totally
if you
could.
wanted a transparent underglaze, which would be fucking great,
Hmm.
like, you know, like I do a lot of gradients and that would be awesome.
Yeah, I think people
But
would just be
anyway,
like, just add water to
just shut,
underglaze.
you know what? You just tell them to shut the fuck up. You just tell them to shut the fuck up. Okay?
Well,
Just
Yeah,
Becca,
because
it
you
sounds
see
like you know
brush.
there's a void there. You gotta feel you know what the
Yeah,
problem. You know what it is.
we should develop a clear underglaze,
You
I'm
Becca.
just
not
gotta
smart enough. It would only be useful for us.
That's true. Our
that
niche
you
is
know of.
very small.
If you
Yeah,
show it,
Yeah,
you're
that
like,
I know
holy
of.
shit, how did you get that?
yeah.
And you're
We'd have to
like,
show people
it's a
how it's
clear
used.
underglaze.
I
Yeah.
guess we
And
could go to
then,
ClayCon West.
yeah, we could pitch our idea or
Start
Yeah.
like
selling like
debut it there.
magic
Yeah.
water or something. Like, what is this sorcery?
Yeah. I'll think about that a little bit
Hmm.
more. But that would be pretty cool. Yeah. But yeah, the underglaze thingy I was doing, you can mix it. I did mix it with just like bright colors of underglaze, and it looks really cool. There's just so
That's
many other,
awesome.
there's so many things I want to do with it, but the initial reason for it was to make an underglaze. The color looks like my clay. I add the speckles to it so I could brush that onto a slip cast piece, and it would, have a similar visual effect of the tan speckled exposed clay.
I
Um,
love this.
And it would be uniform enough throughout the liquid that it wouldn't like streak. You wouldn't be like dragging the manganese around as
yeah,
you're
so that's
painting it.
something I'm kind of running into right now. I've used it to where it looks great, and I've also used it and it does look kind of smeary. So I think I might need to sieve out the smaller particles because I was
Mm,
using 40 to 60 mesh. I can't remember what the biggest mesh was. And so, two different mesh sizes essentially. So I think I need to ditch the smaller size and just go for the bigger size. And that should work pretty well.
yeah.
More tests need to be done.
I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
I like to hear the process of just like going down this like, okay, like the challenge with the slip casting and the manganese, and then you're like, I want this
Mhm.
look. No, why don't you just sacrifice something? It's like, no, I want this look. I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah. I'm determined to figure it out, even if it's not creating a speckled casting slip. I need something that still has the same look, no matter how I achieve it. I'm
But
still,
how marketable would that be?
oh
Like
yeah.
if you did a speckled underglaze that was clear, holy shit
Mhm.
balls.
Oh, that would be, yeah, clear one for sure. I feel like I'm giving away my secrets because I haven't shared this on Instagram or anything. Because I'm like, as soon as people see that I'm speckling underglaze, they're gonna be like, "How are you doing that?"
This
And
is
I don't know.
inside
I think,
baseball here.
yeah, I wanna, well, one, I want to perfect it before sharing it with other people. But also, I kind of like the mystery. I don't want to gatekeep, okay, but maybe for just a little bit, and then eventually
There's a
I'll share
timed gatekeep. I appreciate that. Also, if anybody rips Liz off, you just send him my way and I'll just rip him a new one.
it. Yeah, use it for inspiration, not for duplication.
That's right.
Copycat. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's back onto the speckled slip
Yeah.
journey that we talked about 4 years ago.
Yeah. You mentioned the wall hangings and whatnot and the lamps. What kind of
Mhm.
got you into wanting to make those kind of forms that weren't functional every day, like, dinnerware?
Yeah. Um, well, for a few years now, I've just wanted to make lamps because I'm like, that's different. I don't see that. I mean, I see people doing it, and I've seen more people since then doing it. But I was like, I want to make something that sets me apart in another way from the mainstream pottery people. So I was like, lamps are sweet. Also, it's like a higher price point that I can sell. I love decor. Like I like decorating and that kind of thing too. So I want to, um, I don't know, I just want to make things that are displayed in a home and less, as well as things that are used daily, with your coffee and food and stuff like that. Um, yeah, so I think that's mainly why, but I specifically wanted to make a lamp with a shade because that is something I don't see very many potters doing. They'll put like a
Where they're
globe
like, you
or
figure
they'll
out the shade. You figure out
Mhm.
the shade.
Yeah, well, for now, I figured it out. I'm getting it. So the shade I got at home, the store called At Home.
Hmm.
Not to be confused with Home Goods because I thought they were the same thing. They're not. They're not owned by the same people either. Um, they have similar stuff, but At Home has tons of lampshades. Still a very small amount of the kind of shade that I wanted. So I wanted just a cylinder, white, straight sides. That's it. Super basic. You don't know how hard it is to find that specific kind of lampshade. That's quality. Like they're all tapered or they have a texture or a lot of people don't realize it's not universal. The shade rings, the part that sits on the bulb or the way you attach it to your lamp, they're not all the same. There's so many different ways
Hmm.
to make a lamp. And it's really frustrating when you don't know anything about it. So I had to buy like 4 different sockets, multiple shades to try them out. I think what I want to go with maybe is just a harp next time. So the harp is the thing that starts at the base of the bulb and it goes up, and then the shade connects at the top.
Mm.
That might be hard for people to visualize with just,
Yeah, it's kind of
what
like
a
an
review.
oval, right? It kind of encompasses the bulb. The bulb is kind of in the middle, and then the top has a little
Yeah, it
screw or
has
the pin at the top that the.
yeah, it's called a finial. So it's got a threaded part on the top. Then the shade fits over that threaded part, and then a little finial screws onto it, like it's a decorative piece screws onto it. So I think if you're listening and you want to do lamps, you should use a harp because it's just a lot easier to find shades that'll work with a harp over the other kind. Because some shades, they don't fit over the socket. There's different socket sizes. Even though the bulb is the same, the the part that goes around the metal part that goes around the socket is different. They make different sized holes on the lampshades that fit
Mm.
over different
Because the
ones.
the other one, the ones you're talking about, the lamp is part of it fits on top, and then the bulb screws and kind of holds the shade in place. Is
Yeah.
that right? Okay.
Yeah. And there's a
Hmm.
ring normally that screws on top of it to like keep the shade from like wobbling. Yeah.
Mm. Who
And for
knew?
those of you who have no idea what's happening, I'm right there with you. You
Well,
lost me at harp. I was like gone. I was
well,
like, I
I
haven't looked at a
sus
lamp in years.
I suspect the
Yeah.
shade also has to look proportional to the body, and then you're like,
hmm
well, these are the shades I have to work with. Okay, what do I
Yeah.
need to change? I can change how the neck of my va lamp matches with the hardware
hmm
versus
Yeah.
like, oh, it's got to be taller and wider, or it's got to be taller and skinnier, so it looks proportional.
Yeah. There's a lot of things to consider when making a lamp that I never considered until I had started like trying to put it together. I do think I want to do like a virtual workshop on lamps because I think I've learned enough and I want to learn some more stuff, but I think that would be probably pretty desirable for some people to see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say before you make a lamp, pick your shade first. Start with the shade and work your way
Down.
from there because picking a shade after the fact once you've made this cool base, you're like, oh, I need one that's like 12 inches wide and 6 inches tall or whatever dimensions you want. You're not gonna, it's gonna be really hard to find that shade. So find the shade first and then make the body to be proportional to the shade. Yeah. And get the hardware first too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And do you normally get all that stuff in one place, or did you had to source the hardware from somewhere that sells it in bulk
Hmm.
or sells it like five at a time or something, and then you've got to,
Yeah.
and then
So
know
I
the
found a
terms to
website.
search to figure out the how they all
Oh
fit
my
together.
God. Yeah, I didn't know the terms either. So I was just scrolling through pages and pages of like lamp parts. And I'm like, oh, that's what that's called. Uh, so I need to search for that in brass and different dimensions. There's different thread widths for the pipe. So anyway, I don't want to go into too much of the minutia there, but I got the hardware from grandbrass.com. You can buy single pieces from there, but they do bulk discount. If you buy like 10, they'll knock the price down a little bit. So there's that. And then I got the cords from Color Cord because wanted a cord like that. I felt like it fit the vibe with my aesthetic. It's the like woven cord.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's round. It's not like the flat cord. And the shade, yeah, I got from at home. But I would like to find a shade supplier eventually.
Who knew? Lamps.
Yeah.
Were you like, fuck this,
Seriously.
I'm going with pendants? Are pendants any easier? You don't have to worry about a shade. You are the shade with
You
the
make the
pendant.
shade, yeah.
So like,
I feel like pendants are easier. I haven't made one yet, so I don't want to like speak too soon, but just by looking
What the
at
hell
them,
is a pendant?
it's
it
like
hangs.
hovering above a center, above like an island,
Oh, okay.
or
Yeah.
in like an entryway or whatever.
Yeah.
Got it.
Color Cord sells all the hardware for pendant lights too. Highly recommend them. They sell a whole kit and it's nice, like a nice kit. You can buy lamp kits online, but they're trash. Just
Hmm.
my personal opinion. I feel
Because
really
I,
bad selling a $700 lamp with like really shitty hardware on there,
mm,
you know.
yeah.
Wow.
That's why I was so picky about the shade too. Like this needs to be high quality for what
Hmm.
I'm gonna price them at.
What are you pricing them at? Did you say that?
Yeah, the bigger one, I it's about 16 inches tall with the shade, and that is I price at 695.
Damn. Get
Yeah,
it.
I sold them.
Yeah. It's
I was
cheaper than
shocked.
that on your website. It says 675 on two of them that
Oh,
are
is it
sold out.
675? My
Yeah.
bad. Yeah.
You're gonna go 695 next time.
Yep. No, I'll probably keep
Yeah.
it at 675 for now, but I do want to make a larger size, and that'll be close to a grand probably. We'll see.
Make
I don't know
some.
if I'll sell it,
They look
but
really nice. Are you looking them up, Becca?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is fucking wild to. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember now. Okay. Because I remember seeing them and but I lost it. Um, yeah, those are beautiful.
thank
They're
you.
beautiful.
Wow.
I was
And
very shocked to sell what I sold because I was like, I will be happy if just one of these sells. I made five, excuse me, I made five, two at the higher price point, and then I had three smaller ones. I sold the two most expensive ones, and then I sold one of the tier down from that. I have two left on the site still, but
Oh my
um
God. I haven't
yeah.
been on your site in forever. These wall tiles are fucking ridiculously amazing.
Thanks. Yeah, I have a lot of cool plans for the wall tiles. I'm like super antsy and ready to finish those because those are it's kind of crazy because I'm gambling, spending a lot of time developing some of these things. Like those lamps took a whole year for me to figure out. I could have done it faster if that was my sole focus, but it was a full year. And then these wall tiles, it's not going to take me that long, but I'm trying to figure out the right color combos for them. And it's going to be like a large wall piece composition of multiples of them arranged differently. And that's going to be the most expensive thing I've ever tried to sell. I'm not going to say I'm going to sell them. I don't know, but it'll probably be like the plan is to have 12 arranged on the wall in different directions, like some vertical, some
Wow.
horizontal. And so there'll be 12 of those, and it's going to be about, I think about 12. I'm going to price it at like $1,200. So
Mm.
I'm really trying to work into a higher end
Hmm.
market, like clientele.
I
So
love that.
super opposite of where I was 4 years ago, trying to work
Hmm.
into wholesale.
I'm curious if that's what led you into more of the pre-order kind of framework versus the made, sold,
Mm-hmm.
update kind of format.
Yeah, the pre-orders, I don't remember when the first one I did. It was probably a few years ago now, but I try to offer pre-orders periodically throughout the year so that it's something for people to buy that don't make it to the restocks. So, or they get someone beats them to something. So I wanted to have something available for people to buy continually. Um, Not continually, but like have something on my website for people to buy when they aren't there for a restock. Either they don't know about it, they hear about it too late,
Hmm.
they, got beat to the punch or whatever. Someone bought what they wanted before they did. And the thought with them has been to kind of keep something on my website at all times so that I can
Yeah.
hopefully get a sale when I have random web traffic. So right now I've taken off or I've sold out the pre-orders that I had, the last ones I did because I still have stuff on my website and I needed to shift focus and, I didn't want to, it was just taking up a lot of time to make the last pre-order that I offered. But I want to have something available on my website at all times, whether that's something that is ready to ship or a pre-order
Hmm.
option. And that was also to try and, yeah, just capture a different audience, really. Um,
Because
'Cause
there's
like,
no urgency. That's like they can see the pre-order, they can not feel pressured into buying it. It's just like it's there if
mhm,
you would like it. This is pretty much exactly what you're gonna get.
yeah,
So you feel very comfortable ordering it.
hmm yeah. And I feel like there's people that shop like that. That's how I would shop personally. I cannot be bothered to like sit down at a specific time and then hope to buy something and someone else snatches it out from under me.
Oh,
I don't play
yeah.
that game, even though I sell that way. Um, but that's why I wanted to do pre-orders too for people that are like, I'm not gonna bother with the restock because like I don't want to fight people for stuff, but I
Hmm.
want some work from this person. And I try to vary what I offer. Sometimes it's mugs, sometimes it's a planter. I had wall tiles. I think I still have that. I need to make it sold out on my website now, but I have wall tiles now for pre-order. I did. And what else have I done? I've done all kinds of things. Um,
So
yeah,
are those pretty much, so it changes from, okay, you've got, I don't know how many updates you do every year, but how many do you do?
it varies.
Okay,
I
so
don't have
let's
a
just
set
say
number.
you do updates and you have like 15 days a year that people can buy in an update. You
Hmm
change it for 15 days to 365 days or 300 days or whatever it may be because you have like they're sold out of pre-orders. So you
Yeah.
get that traffic. And then how much of that, like, are you getting pre-orders like once a day or once every other day when they're alive?
Uh, Not so much. It's usually the trend is I'll have make a pre-order available, send an email out to my subscribers, put it on Instagram. Initially there's a big rush of like multiple orders, and then if I have it up for like say 2 months, I'll get one every maybe a couple times a week. And if I'm not active on social media, it's a lot less than that. It's like, I might not get one for weeks at a time. But if I'm more active on social media, I'm more likely to get that random sale like a
Hmm.
few days out of the week or something like that. So, uh I feel like I can sell as much as I try. Like if I really try to sell, I think I can sell. Maybe not as much as I'd like, but I'd still sell more regularly. If I'm not trying, probably not going to really be selling a whole lot.
Okay. And is some
Yeah.
of that just kind of passive, like you put it in the footnote of your caption of these are still available for pre-order, or is it more I'm making a reel showing the process of making this thing that is actively being open for pre-order or
Yeah, so I'll normally make a reel after I've like launched it initially. I'll wait a while if I want to do a reel for it to get some more sales, because I'd rather have the rush of sales come in like incrementally. I don't want like
Mhm.
tons all at once. So, because it just like it's really overwhelming to make a ton of the same thing, all at once. So, after a few weeks, I'd probably make a reel for it. And as I'm making them too, I post it in my stories. So I post progress updates, like how I'm doing, what I'm doing, if I'm working on them or not. And like that generates sales too
it
sometimes.
also gives the buyers of the pre-order feel comfortable of like, oh, it's being actively worked on. It's not just money that's been
Totally.
taken and then will
Yeah.
come to me someday.
Yeah. I think that's how they think. I like to think that they're like, oh, so she offered pre-orders, she's making them. So if I buy one, I'm probably gonna get it. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, it helps their confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Does it change the
Also,
mentality a little bit when you're doing the pre-order perspective versus the make what you want, whatever will come at the end of it will come, and then
yeah.
you get the cash at the end?
Yeah. You asked if I had a different mentality with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very different because, you get the money up front for it and you're like, I gotta make these. And then like 4 weeks later, you're shipping them out. The shipping cost comes out of your account and there's like nothing to make up for it. So,
Mm.
it's just a different way to look at it. If you can't mentally handle that, I wouldn't do pre-orders, but and if you're not motivated enough, don't do pre-orders. But if you can, uh, I don't know, stick to making the same thing over and like in a, relatively quick turnaround time, then I think they're a great idea because it's
Is
just
it,
like tapping into a different kind of customer, I think.
and are you balance it sounds like there's a way of balancing it proactively versus reactively where you're always making enough that you can keep ahead
Hmm.
and not, oh, I got an order, so I got to start that piece today that I just got. It's like, no, you're always making the thing so that you have bisque to work on
Hmm.
or
Yeah. Sometimes I'll make things for the bisques, like get them to bisque stage before I offer a pre-order. So I'm like, I know the next pre-order I want
mm,
to do is going to be mugs. So I'm going to make 20 or something, or I'll at least throw the mug bodies and cast the mug handles and put them in a damp box. And then I'll make the pre-order live and kind of work like start at the starting point from where I left off with like making them, whether I had them at leather hard or whether they're at bisque stage. And I always make quite a few extra, like 3 to 4 extra, because either you're gonna have mess ups or you might get more orders for them, and those can be for those, or they can be for restock that you do if they don't sell, if they're still if they all look good, if there are no seconds. So
hmm.
and I do like to do pre-orders in between restocks because that I found that helps keep me making. So
Mm,
like, say I do a restock, I sell a bunch of stuff. I don't have much inventory. I'm gonna do a pre-order, start a pre-order because then it forces me to be in the studio making whatever the pre-order is, and at that same time, I'm making other things for the next restock, if that makes sense.
okay, I like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's like high highs when you get the ding 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 when people are buying for the
Hmm.
restocks, and then you got you got to pack everything up, which can be a drag as well,
Hmm.
because you're probably
Yeah.
not actively getting your hands dirty besides packing for a few days, I'm guessing. But
Yeah. Yeah, the packing, yeah, that takes 1 or 2 days usually. Um, but also if you could do a pre-order, like I've done it multiple different ways. Just depends on where I'm at, like what my capacity is, what my financial situation is, um, all of that stuff. So sometimes like the day after a restock, if a bunch of things sell, if most of my stuff sells, I'll put a pre-order up on there because there's people still going to the website because they see the post that I did
Mm.
about the restock. They might get the email in their inbox. They might not have read the email the like in time to make it to the restock. So there's still people going to the website after a restock. So if you have something available for them to buy,
Nice.
that they're more likely to buy, I think, because they're like, ooh, restock. Let me go. Oh, all of her stuff sold out, or most of her stuff sold out, and I don't want a big bowl, but she's offering a mug for pre-order. I'll buy that. Like, I think that works out really well.
Hello. I am interrupting this time instead of Ryan because we're a team. And I am here to tell you about L&L. Guess what? Our favorite, I'm going to say it's our favorite sponsorship because it was our first and it's our favorite sponsor, L&L, is going to be at NCECA again, as always, with their awesome booth. And guess what? I think they have a big booth this year, which is really cool. And they are going to have 2 kilns for sale. They're at a reduced price, so it's like the NCECA price. So if you are looking for a kiln, this is a great time to do that if you have a vehicle large enough to move it. So the kilns are going to be, they have an E18S, which is a 2.5 cubic foot kiln, my future kiln, potentially, and an EFL 1626, and that's a front loader kiln. So if you have issues with your shoulders or anything like that, those are great for that, and your back. Now they do have the E23T if you wanted to look at that kiln if you were thinking about buying it in the future, but they have already sold it, so tough luck on that one. And on top of everything, they are going to be giving away 2 plug and fire kilns. Those are the kilns that me and Ryan both have and that we love dearly. And those are one of them is going to be given away in the resource hall. And then I believe one of them is going to be given away to one of the, to some student in the, education show, like the teenage show. I'm not positive on the second one, but usually it's a giveaway in that area. Now, just a few things. If you wanted to get one of these kilns, please reach out to L&L. They're actually really responsive on Instagram, and they also are responsive via email. So, but you will need to have a vehicle sufficient enough to take them. So keep that in mind. If you're driving, if you're flying, I don't know what to tell you. So anyway, but if you're driving, you need a vehicle sufficient enough to take them, and they'll like pack it up and repack it up so that it's all good for traveling. You just have to have the vehicle. Anyway, so if you are interested in that, give L&L a shout out and see if you can buy those. They will be at the show regardless, so if you are not interested in buying yet, but you do want to buy in the future, you should go check them out and look at them because they're awesome. And tell Dimitri I said hi, because I'm not going to be there. But, yeah. And you can also go look at them at, you guessed it, hotkilns.com. Yep. You can go look at what they're going to have there at hotkilns.com. See if that's something you would like. All right. Back to the show.
Mm-hmm.
But then
And
you
the
get all your
pre-order
money at
price,
once.
and it looks like the pre-order price is the exact same price as a regular
Hmm.
ready to ship as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just kind of decide based on what or you keep in the back of your head, like, okay, if this sells out, what will I pre-order? What am I
Yeah.
willing to make more of?
Yeah. It's what am I willing to make more of? Is it like fast enough to replicate? So like things with stencils, it's not a lot faster, but it's a little bit faster. You don't have to hand tape every single line or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm also thinking of what responses have I got on social media of like the different pieces that I've posted. If certain things get like there's a lot of engagement with the post of a
Mm.
particular piece, that's going in the back of my mind of like, okay, can I make that a pre-order for when I'm ready to do a pre-order? What and I think through like how complicated it's going to be. Sometimes I screw myself over. And after I do a bunch of pre-orders, I'm like, I really shouldn't have made that a pre-order because it took me so much time. And I think the money was worth it. But like, I do think that it's just like my mental, where I'm at mentally, like suffered because I just made like 30 mugs that took me probably 3 hours each or something like that. And it's
Oh
just
my gosh.
like so draining.
Yeah, it's just the perfect storm of the pre like if you just made five of them for restock, it wouldn't have felt anywhere near.
Right.
And you would
Yeah.
have been okay with whatever the price was, but when you quadruple it plus,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
oh shit. You're aware of
Yeah. I've
every single
definitely screwed
dollar that
myself.
goes into that pot.
Yeah. It's definitely, you definitely want to consider what you're making, what you're offering as a pre-order before you offer it.
Hmm.
Because, yeah, you just, it can be a doozy, really
Yeah.
overwhelming.
D what I'm thinking of your how do you piece in time to actually experiment and research and stuff still if you're doing the pre-orders consistently, you're doing restocks because I find it sometimes it's hard to motivate myself to do something different if I know I can
Yeah.
spend my time doing things that I can expect money from
Yeah.
regularly from what's sold in the past.
There's definitely a balance. I wouldn't say I have found the right balance. I feel like a lot of times I get really stuck on one or the other. So whether it's like R&D type stuff, I kind of like zone in on that and that can eat up a lot of my time. And then towards the end of it, like say it's been a few weeks and I haven't really made anything to sell. I've just been like screwing up a lot. Uh, then I feel this like dread of like I need to make some stuff to sell because I need some income. And sometimes that's when I've offered a pre-order because I'm like, shit, I don't have any to sell, but I could could totally get some money right now if I did a pre-order. So that has
Hmm.
been a method. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that because it's you're kind of always playing catch up at that point. Um, but yeah, I think after like doing R&D for a few weeks, will I usually end up making stuff still during those times, even if it's a small amount of stuff. Say I throw like 10 or 15 pieces and I like in those few weeks I've managed to trim them and bisque them. Then at the end of the weeks of R&D, I'm like, okay, now it's glazing time. Like I'm gonna be here for a week glazing these 15 pieces.
Hmm.
Uh, could probably do it a little faster than that, but I try to not do super long hours of sitting there glazing because my
Hmm.
body hates me when I do that. But yeah, it kind of ebbs and flows, and I don't think I fully have a good balance yet. I don't know if I ever will. It's more like, okay, time to stop R&D. You need to make money. So
Right.
shift focus.
I feel like I've heard some things where people set aside like even an hour. Like I have an hour a week that I could do whatever I want. Like
Hmm.
that sounds like nothing, but I mean when you add it up, it really is
Yeah.
something. Or it could just be like a nugget and you don't feel guilty about spending that hour. Like sure, I spent, 40
Yeah.
hours a week doing pottery. An hour is nothing in relation to all of it, but
Yeah. It's still like a little dopamine hit, I guess, of like, oh, I did something different, like working towards a goal or something. I feel like a split, a better, I would like a more of a like a two-thirds production and one-third kind of R&D. Because there's still stuff that comes from the R&D, at least for me, as I'm making stuff. Like all these wall tiles I've been doing, I've made a bunch of different color combos. Not all of them are going to be used in the piece that I sell, like the piece of the 12 all together, but those are going to be used in a different way and I'll sell those. So I see,
Mhm.
as I'm doing that, I'm seeing it as like, okay, this is something I can sell. If I was making things that were just like like catastrophes and disasters, I wouldn't, I'd have a lot harder time. But I'm a
Mhm.
little bit more conservative, I think, in my R&D. I don't go so outside the box of my skills that I failed
Yeah,
that badly.
yeah, you're not all of a sudden throwing like 50-pound pots or something like.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. It's like I
Okay.
work within the bounds of what I know I can do, but I'm doing things a little differently. I'm still adding in different variables, but there's a
Hmm.
lot that I am, uh, I don't know,
Because
comfortable with.
I could see there's a urge to, oh, I love that color combo on the wall tiles of the underglaze with a color, and then it's like, okay, well, that's achieved this way. There's no specs in it. Do we go to a slip cast body for mugs that have that aesthetic so
Mm,
that it clears out the need for specs and it kind of gives it a different look?
mm.
Like, and then you're like balancing a line of mugs that have the specs and it's slip cast for, or outsourcing to have somebody else help you with certain parts of it. I don't know, but
Yeah. I have thought about having a different line of my like functional work that is slipcast too. Just haven't like pulled
hmm
the trigger on a mold or anything for that. But
yeah.
whenever, if ever I do, it will be a mug. Like I'm gonna need a mug mold because I'm so tired of throwing cylinders.
hmm Well,
Just
because most of, it's just the canvas for most of it. I mean, yeah.
yeah, I know that they kind of need to be that basic for this stuff I'm putting on them, but it's just so boring to make
hmm
that throw that over and over. Like I want to
Yeah.
make weird shaped things. I want to cut the things I've thrown and make them into something new. I don't know. I'm just yeah. The production of mugs is kills me.
hmm
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah. I've gotten them pretty fast though. Like the throwing, the trimming, the handles, like I've gotten that all that down pretty fast, which is nice.
Had you ever had anybody help you in your process at all? Like an assistant to some extent?
Um, so I
Or
had
like
an assist
glazing or anything like that?
I had an assistant back when we spoke last, and when I moved into this new studio space, I had to let her go because I'm like, hey, I'm going to be taking on this like rent payment. I can't afford to pay you anymore. Um, and worked with that one for a long time. I don't have one right now. I don't have the I'm not ready to pay someone for that right now, but I did have a volunteer. Someone volunteered to help me. A retired woman. Her name's Pamela. She's an angel. She's amazing. I wish she
Have you
was still
ever met
around.
anybody named Pamela that wasn't an angel?
No, I think she's the only Pamela that I know though. But she's moving out of the country, and
Oh,
so
Pamela.
yeah, she left, but she was awesome. She did help me with some of these. She helped me with glazing. She was very meticulous, so I trusted her with glazing. Um, and I can't remember. She did a lot of reclaim. I feel bad for her for that. She did a lot of my reclaim and some other like just very random tasks. But she helped once a week for like a few hours.
Even that is helpful.
Oh
Like
I
yeah.
kind of want to
it's
do that when I'm retired.
sometimes it's hard to know how much you can give somebody to work on for even 2 hours at a time or 4 hours at a time.
Hmm.
I think I've just been
Reclaim
doing it
though.
so long that like prepping clay. I was thinking you were gonna say she was prepping clay for
She
you to
did that
throw the
too.
mugs.
She reclaimed it and then weighed it out for me in buckets
Nice.
and stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
God bless.
If anyone wants to help me for free, come on over.
Or for studios, would you do studio trade?
I would absolutely trade a studio space for help. I haven't figured out like how many hours I would want as in exchange for that, but yes, absolutely. I thought about offering that, like putting that on Instagram. I don't know.
It's tough because
That
you
seems
gotta know
scary.
they've got to be to
Mhm.
your like obviously the glazing you would kind of ease them into like are they that detailed
Yeah.
or you know you're not having them
Yeah.
like tape pots for you because like that's
Right.
something only you can do at this stage
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
they could cast handles, they could reclaim, potentially glaze some things. Uh, Pack and ship.
Hmm.
Yeah, Pamela helped me with shipping too. Oh, that was so awesome.
God bless
I
Pamela.
miss
Thanks,
her so
Pamela.
much.
Where'd she move?
Scotland.
Oh, bitch.
Yeah. She's like, I'm getting the hell out of this country. I'm like, okay.
And she like has the right too. She's like, I've lived my life. I'm ready. I'm
Oh
fucking
yeah.
going.
Yeah, her husband was from Scotland too, so like she doesn't need to really do anything legally. I mean, maybe there's some legal stuff, but it's super easy for her to go there because he still has citizenship there.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous of
Yeah.
Pamela. I want to live in
Yeah.
Scotland.
Marry you a Scotsman.
Nah, I'll take
Yeah.
Andrew. I can go to Mexico.
Yeah. That sounds nice too.
Yeah, Mexico's nice.
Mm, yeah,
What
I was
about,
gonna, oh,
oh,
go
go
ahead.
on.
Well, I was gonna just mention, too, since we were talking about pre-orders and restocks and like some of the fancier stuff that I'm making, I'm toying with trying to figure out how I want to do this, but I think I do want to make custom pieces available. I've done a few
Ooh,
recently that worked out really well, and I think I want to like somehow make that available. I need to get verbiage down for it and put it on my website, but that's another direction I want to go with my work because I feel a lot better about making a custom piece when it's the right price and it's
Mm.
within
mm,
my like I set the boundaries for it and yeah.
Yeah, I was curious how you were setting those boundaries because sometimes you say open to commissions, like that can mean anything.
Oh yeah.
But you
yeah.
kind of it's nice that you can get to a level where you're so confident and consistent with the work that you're like, okay, these are the
Mhm.
bounds that I'm offering. Because you probably get
Yeah.
questions about like colors, like can you do one in monochromatic greens or something? And you're like, well,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna put that in
totally.
restock, but
Right. That is so it's interesting to think about, but as I've done a few, I've kind of come come to like what I think is going to work best. And yeah, I would set the bounds to be I'm open to hearing things outside of the bounds, but I reserve the right to refuse
The
whatever or
bounds.
I reserve the right to decline any
mhm,
commission request. Um, if it sounds fun to me and it's outside of my boundaries, I will probably say yes and price it at an appropriate price point. If they say yes, cool. If they say no, I wasn't going to make that anyway. So, um, that's kind of how I see it. And as long as they work within my bounds, so it's like these are the kinds of forms that I make. You can see them on my website, on my Instagram. Open to revisiting any of the forms you've seen, any of the color combos you've seen. Um, if there's certain patterns, say you like want a mug, but there's like a pattern from a vase that you really like that you want on that mug, like that's the kind of customs that I'm like excited about taking because I'm like I know I can do that. And another thing I'm going to be doing is tacking on 25% of what that piece would cost. So
Hell yeah.
because I am stopping my production or my flow to make this specific thing, to pull out these specific colors that I might not have been using, or cutting a specific stencil for a piece. I wasn't going to be doing that. So the 25% is for the interruption of my workflow, because that takes extra time. So,
mhm. And usually
and
you're making samples or coming up with making enough that you can cover in case something happens, so you make
yeah,
extras. Yeah.
I would make a sample for something that I'd never done before, I think. For some requests I um wouldn't always feel the need to make a sample because like, if it's colors I've done, a pattern I've done, or a shape I've done, I feel pretty confident with my skills to like be able to do it. But yeah, if it was like a unique color that I was mixing, I would definitely like mix it up, put it on a test tile and show them. Or drawing up sketches. I've done that. Um, yeah, it's it's an interesting thing to get into. I'm not fully in it yet, I would say, but I have done a handful recently, and it's kind of more fun to me than making pre-order mugs, you
Yeah.
know.
Hmm.
So.
Yeah, like a
And
small percentage, like 5 or 10% of your business, maybe in a year is commission, or less than five
yeah.
percent, maybe.
Yeah, the goal isn't to have it be the main source of income for me. I mean, eventually, if that's how it worked out, that'd be cool. But those would probably be for like multi-hundred-dollar pieces, ideally. Like, I don't think I would make a, a large portion of my income off of custom mugs, for instance. Like, it would be
Hmm.
like a custom lamp or a custom wall tile piece or something like that. I'd
Yeah.
love to get into that with like designers and stuff, but I don't,
That would be the life, wouldn't it be?
yeah, I don't know how to tap into that market yet, but
Find a what are those people called that put things on your walls?
Interior designer?
Yeah, interior designers.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what? If you find a furniture maker, he
mm,
could probably tap you into his interior designers, like a
yeah,
really good furniture maker, then you could, go through that because you're not selling the same thing. In fact, you're
right,
selling something that would probably add
Compliment.
to whatever he's making.
totally. Yeah, like some kind of mid-century
Yeah.
modern style furniture maker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're not in competition, I feel like they'd be a
Yeah.
lot more likely to share their uh,
They're
network.
Pete's.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree.
Because I feel like your pieces could also be utilized with wood as well. Like if it was framed in a certain way, like
hmm
maybe down the road somebody could do something like
Yeah,
that.
they could do a custom frame or like a custom base or something for a lamp or something like that. Like
Hmm.
that would be cool.
It'd be cool if those tiles were like underneath a tabletop or something, or like you could see
Ooh,
like
yeah,
I don't know how
Yeah.
mid-century a glass top would be, but like something
yeah,
that's with wood and glass. I don't know. I'm not a
yeah.
designer, but I could just see them flat so you can instead of on a wall,
hmm
be out so you can see them.
Totally.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Cool.
there's all kinds of possibilities. That's the hard thing is like kind of like focusing in on certain things,
Hmm.
knowing that there's all these other things out there that you want to do and try. That's my
Yeah.
That's what my hang up is. I just want to do everything. Like every idea that pops into my head, I'm like, I want to see that come to life.
Was there like a dollar figure that you sold a piece for that you're like, this is like a hurdle of like, oh, once I sell something over this, I'm like, oh shit, like there's a market for that? I
hmm
didn't know that. Like, okay,
Yeah.
because you're kind of limited on how complex you can go with your designs to be like, oh, I haven't got over that hurdle yet. Like, oh, is it
Yeah.
possible? Are there people out there?
I kind of just keep pushing the limits to see what people will pay. So I have a story. I think I think it's a cool story. It makes me really happy. So I a year and a half ago, maybe more, I took a custom order from one of my repeat customers, very sweet person, and she wanted a bowl. I had made her like a dinnerware set with rainbow, like each plate was one of the colors of the rainbow, but a gradient of each color. So it was like red, dark to light, orange, dark to
Ugh.
light, and so on. And she
Mm,
wanted a bowl to match those. And she was like, I just want it rainbow gradients. You like the design is totally up to you. And that's the best kind of custom order. Because then like, you get free reign. So I quoted her, I don't remember what it was, like 160, $170 or something like that. I ended up making like a super time-consuming design on this bowl. I don't know how long it took me to do, but if you go to my Instagram, there's what I call the rainbow brick pattern. It's just on the outside of this bowl, and there's so
Oh my
many
God.
colors. It's ridiculous. So after I did it, I was like, I way undercharged for that. I'm really mad at myself. Um, but it opened up something else because I posted it on my Instagram, and in the captions, I wrote that it was like a custom order or something like that. And I got people messaging me asking me, like, hey, I saw that you did that. I want one. And so I don't remember the where I started at with this price, but I was like, I'm definitely not going low. I'm not doing 160, whatever the hell I did. I was like, I'm doubling that. So it was like, I think 325 is where I started. I was like, I will feel okay making that again for 325. If this person says no, that's fine. I don't really want to make it anyway. So, but they said yes. And I got another request for one, and I was like, ooh, I don't want to do two of these. So I bumped it up to 375.
Holy
They
shit.
they were cool with that. So then um I got a couple more people reaching out about it, and like the ending price for that was I think 425. I just kept
Wow.
bumping it up. So I think I made five of those total, and the price I ended on was like 425. It might have been more, I can't remember now. But
So maybe that first bowl was worth
yeah,
150 or however
at
you
the end of
charged.
everything I looked back and I was like, if I hadn't taken that custom order, then I wouldn't have that, all that other all the other orders from it afterwards. So that's kind of what made me think twice about custom orders was like, okay, maybe I should take customs, but I need to set the parameters to where it makes sense for me. It's not like I'm reliant on those for my income, but sure would be nice to like make some money off of
Hmm.
some of these things. So I was like,
It's
okay,
so beautiful.
thanks.
I'm looking at it right now.
Thanks. People really like that design. I mean, maybe because I've made a lot and like spent a lot of time on it now, I'm like, "Ugh, it's not that great. But I guess other people do like it. So I want to put it on some other things, like on vases, I do want to put it on a lamp, and I would charge more
Mm,
for that too. But yeah.
maybe a
Something that
thousand
probably
dollar lamp.
doesn't gradually
Yeah.
change in like its surface area around the whole body of it as much as like a bowl, because I'm sure it was a little
Yeah.
challenging trying to get that consistent.
Yeah. It was really tricky to get the lines even, the horizontal ones specifically. But
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I think a lamp, depending on the shape that I do for it, it would be fairly simple. I was thinking just like a cylinder with like a rounded top, slightly rounded bottom, and just the design on the straight parts of that. We'll
Hmm.
see. But yeah, there's my
Okay.
pricing story because I know potters are always trying to figure out how to price their work, and it's really what you can convince someone to pay for it is what price you should price it at.
And then like you're talking about, like social media is giving you evidence and a sense
Hmm.
of like what the reaction is. I mean, sure,
Totally.
there's a balance of like, are people liking it a lot? Are they actually willing to pay for the thing?
Right. Yeah. Because there's a
'Cause-
lot of looky-loos and a lot of people that comment on stuff and they're like, how do I buy that? And then you tell them how and they crickets, like they disappear. It's like, is this a
Mhm.
bot or is this a real person? Are you just trying to make me feel good or were you actually trying to buy something? But yeah, it is nice when like the end result of that exchange is actually someone willing to spend money on
Right.
your
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was fun.
I'm just looking
Huh.
at like your stuff and like going all the way back. You've grown so much, even though it's like if you look at her pieces from like your pieces from like back in the day till now, they look similar, but they're
Mhm.
not.
Yeah. Yeah, you can kind of tell that it was me who made it, you think?
Yeah, like you can tell it was you, but like also, but like your craft is better, your color
Mhm.
combinations are better, your like your the stroke and coats, like your blending is better, like everything's better.
Thank you. That's really
Yeah.
great to hear. Yeah, I mean, that's the goal is to always get better and always keep pushing the work forward. I don't want to be someone in 5 years, if we talk again in 4 or 5 years, where we look back and it all looks the same. Like that means I failed.
Yeah, yeah, I totally get that. Like, but like the designs are still very coherent. Like it's still like I
Hmm.
can look at your first piece and look at your most recent piece and be like, "Oh yeah, Liz made that." But
Hmm.
like as a discerning eye, I'm like, "Oh shit, that is so much better."
Thank
You
you.
know?
Hmm.
That's
Or
really
you can
good
see
to
how the jumps would have happened naturally. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you didn't just throw everything in the bucket and say, all right, I'm tired of making this stuff forever. We're going to start over and I'm going to all of a sudden make something else that's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
way different, which some
Yeah.
people do sometimes. I don't know
Yeah.
exactly
You were
what leads
talking to
them to
one of
that
them.
point, but
And
Yeah.
there's no right or wrong way to do that. You can totally pivot entirely. Like maybe one day I'll do wood-fired stuff. I don't know. Probably not. But there's no right or wrong way, I think, to go about it as long as you're enjoying what you're doing. And if you're trying to make a living off of it, making a living off of it. Um, but yeah, there's been little tweaks over time, like things that I've figured out, gotten more efficient at, or gotten like found like tricks to get better at.
hmm
Um,
yeah.
yeah, that I've just been able to do to, I don't know, get to over time. Yeah.
I could, now that you said like wood fire, I was thinking like, how could you challenge yourself to do, like, if you were doing something with the limitation of atmospheric, okay, how do you control the controllables in there to get like, aesthetics that kind of are like, oh, Liz made that, but it's like wood fired or it's
Yeah.
soda fired.
Oh, Ryan. I roll Ryan.
No, you
I,
could paint that with like slips though, like colored slips,
mhm,
and you can get the flashing, but so
yeah.
it would have the essence of it, but not so tight. But yeah.
Yeah. I really want to try some stuff in soda firing.
Come out to North Carolina. Let's fucking go.
Let's do it. I'll do like
I
a
yeah,
self residency or
my
something.
friend has a soda kiln, a wood kiln, a gas kiln, electric kilns. We got the gamut.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
fucking
Oh, I
go.
would love that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Guess what,
Might
Liz?
have to
I
plan a
even have
trip.
a house now you could crash in.
Hell yeah. And it's
Mm-hmm.
in North Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
Then you could visit your parentals.
Yeah, they're close enough.
Yeah.
They're still in Georgia.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nice.
ATL.
Yeah. It was only 5 hours away. 5 hours away driving.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I would make them drive out to me though.
Wow. You know what?
They're
I'm
retired. They
jealous.
have time.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's fair.
That's what I say too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
I feel like I rambled a lot in
No,
this,
that was no, that was good. I
Isn't that
like
the best type of interview?
I guess. I don't know.
one other thing. We're kind of wrapping up here. One thing that you've been doing pretty consistently is meeting up with groups locally to kind of get
Hmm.
together and hang out. And it seems like you're doing it just to hang out and experiment as well. You are kind of in a
Yeah.
community studio as well, where you're around others. How
Hmm.
has being around other artists on a regular basis, or just knowledge sharing, or just hanging out, impacted your making, or just mental health as you're working a lot as a
Yeah.
solopreneur?
I feel like it's been helping my mental health probably more than anything else, just because a lot of times this art form is very solitary. Unless you're in a busy community studio, it is solitary if you're running a business and all that, especially. So being around other people has helped a lot. We try to do once a month hangouts on the third Friday of every month. And we were going back and forth between my studio and Kurt's studio. And since he built his studio on his attached to his house, it's just so much nicer at his place than it is at my studio because mine's in a warehouse with no windows. So I was kind of like, we need to just do them all at your place because it's more, I don't know, it's more fun.
Homey.
And he'll roll his like black top out and cook food for everybody. And
Ooh.
people bring drinks and we just chat. It is to like, uh, for everyone to work on stuff. Like we encourage people to bring stuff they're working on and we can all like hang out and work on what we're working on together. I end up just mainly hanging out and chatting with people because it's hard for me to work and talk at the same time sometimes.
Mm,
Um, but sometimes we'll just fuck around and like I'll like sculpt little animals or something. It's been nice to yeah, just be around other people. A lot of the people they sell their work. They're not a lot of them aren't full time, but they do sell their work. So we talk a lot of like business stuff, Instagram mark or social media marketing stuff. So I think it's good for everyone to kind of um, chat and learn. I don't know. We all have different things we bring to the table, like different expertise or knowledge or things we've learned. So it's nice to be able to just, I don't know, brainstorm and talk shop and stuff.
mm,
As far as being in my studio, I haven't worked a ton in my studio over the last like 6 months or so. But when I am there, if people are there, it's nice to chat with them. And um, yeah, even if we're not talking, they're over there and I'm over here, I'm in my zone, they're in their zone. It's nice to just like be doing work with someone else that's also working. So you don't feel like it's less of a slog, I feel like, you know. You have
mm.
camaraderie even if you're not talking. And when you're talking, it's, even better. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that answers the question, but
Yeah, I think a lot of times, yeah, you're just in your solo studio. Like, I don't really leave the house that often. A lot of times, like if I wasn't in the clay
yeah.
lines and doing things with my clay guild locally, I wouldn't be socializing a lot
Yeah.
with other folks. And especially if I didn't have studio assistants coming to the studio and the house, I wouldn't be leaving
Hmm.
much at all.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you'd
and
be a
just
crazy,
stuck.
crazy man in your
Yeah.
basement.
Hmm. And
Yeah.
social media can't do
And
it.
I've been,
It can't make up for the in person face to face.
yeah. Yeah. And I've like done video chats with people while I'm working, and that is if you can't get together in person, that is the next best thing, I think. But yeah, being in person, there's something different about it. I don't know. I don't know if it's just my brain, but like I said, if someone else is just quietly working in their area and I'm quietly working in mine, it feels way better than if I'm in the studio completely alone. Yeah, it's just
Hmm.
feels way better. And we have
We've done
to,
some empty
and
bowls stuff
you,
too. I think that's fun. Do you all have y'all done
oh,
that
cool.
kind of thing? Empty bowls get together where you
No, I've heard of that, but we haven't done it as a like a group of us out here. But that would be something cool to look into. It'd be fun.
hmm
We just did a big pot party in January, so we've done a couple of them uh in the we didn't do one last year, but we did the one the year before. And it's pretty much just like none of us throw gigantic things. Let's try. Like, so Derek Redding. He owns Flux Studio in Denver here. He has brought up his wheels and we put him in Kurt's studio. And so we just have multiple wheels. We kind of push the tables aside and people hop on a wheel and throw big stuff. And it's a whole weekend affair and it's fun. Yeah.
yeah.
We've grown
Are you
like
doing like
we have
sectional
a lot of,
pots, like 25 pounds at a time,
mhm.
stuff like that?
Yeah. 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 It was crazy. Um, yeah, I got a couple done. I think I made some of the biggest things I've made this last time. I have to glaze them still, but yeah, that was fun. I want to do more of that. I really want to throw big stuff a little more regularly, but it's one of those things that you gotta like set aside the time to do.
Hmm. And
Yeah.
well, I mean, I guess having your own studio, you could have the space and kilns and
Hmm.
whatnot, but the se I always think of the selling. I'm like, if I'm gonna make this thing, how am I gonna sell it, or how am I gonna finish it? Sometimes I'm
Yeah.
like, I made one of this thing. Okay, I got glaze options. Oh shit, I'm like
Yeah.
stuck. I don't know what the hell to glaze this thing
Yeah.
because I'm gonna
And
like
it's a
ruin it or something.
yeah, and you gotta like you can't dip something that big, so you gotta figure out another method of application. So
Hmm.
that is also something you need to test. So yeah,
Hmm.
the bigger you go, the more like the all the difficult things get exponentially harder. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like glazing,
Yeah.
firing, shipping, selling, like
Yeah.
all of that. Yeah.
Because the lamps are, how many pounds are the lamps thrown?
They're not that bad. I think the base itself could be like 3 or 4 pounds after
Mm,
firing, maybe a little more. Um, and then the shipping aid. I shipped them separately too, because yeah, I don't want the shade to get crushed. So I have like a method of wrapping the shade in the in this corrugated roll, and
hmm.
it's kind of weird. But
Okay. Yeah, that's way
yeah, I
different
shipped them.
throwing a 3 to 4 pound or even 5 pound vase to a 25 pound sectional
Yeah.
item.
Yeah, it takes longer to dry and all of that stuff. It's more likely to crack, more likely to explode in the kiln. Yeah. So there's just a
Mm,
lot that goes into making big work. I want to make big work for the Cherry Creek Arts Fest that we have every year in the summer. It's like a big fine arts fest, and I'm trying to build a body of work to submit to that. So one of those big pieces might be for that. So I won't be selling it online. It will be maybe in person if I get accepted. We'll see.
that's your showstopper piece, your entry, your jury piece to hopefully get you in
Yeah.
and
hmm
stop people as they're walking through.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the goal.
Hmm. I've heard of that show. That's a big show, right?
It's a huge show.
Has Andrew done that show, Becca?
I want to
I
have a
into it this
couple of
year.
those. Andrew Linderman?
No, Andrew Krieger.
With the crystalline
Oh, you
pots.
did? That's
Yeah, he
awesome.
got accepted this year. Yeah.
Dang. Sweet. I'm gonna have to go. Well, I was gonna go anyway, but now I have like someone I know
Yeah.
showing. I think I know a couple other people showing. But yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be cool.
I think Danny will I don't know if Danny
Hell
will do that
yeah.
one.
So hopefully, yeah, he has
Her audio's cutting out. I'm gonna
I don't know
stop
if
her vid.
he's doing this year.
I stopped your video, Liz, because
Yeah,
your audio was cutting in
Danny,
and
there's
out.
Oh, okay. Sorry about
Or
that.
I wasn't sure if it was Becca or you. I wasn't sure, but yours was skipping a little bit. Mine is probably
That's
still
weird.
maybe skipping a little bit too. Here, I'll silent,
Huh.
just in case. Um,
Gotcha.
yeah, that's great. I love to hear the progress. It's hard to believe it's been 4 years since we last chatted on here, and we chat here and there through Instagram and all that, but it's nice to just like catch up on all the different things
hmm
and hear about all the things you're looking forward
Yeah.
to. We'll hear about the challenge
I
of
wish I
your
had.
speckled slip underglaze situation. Maybe we'll have some findings on that soon.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully sooner than later. We'll see. I don't know. I've been working on it here and there for like 4 years. So I don't know. No, I feel like I'm pretty close to figuring
Yeah.
out a solution. But yeah, I wish the interview could go both ways, so I could catch up with y'all too and hear what's going on with y'all.
Hmm.
But we'll have to do
Yeah, we'll
that.
see how the year progresses.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes and yeah, we can catch up offline. But yeah, so for folks that want to see more of your work, see how this progresses going forward and look up all your pots, where do you want to send them?
Instagram is the best one, Liz Cohen Ceramics, and my website is lizcohenceramics.com.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us once again. Best of luck the rest of the year. Sorry
Thank
we'll miss you.
you.
We'll miss you at Nsika. Well, I'll miss you at Nsika. Becca won't be there, but
I
Yeah,
won't miss
I'll
you
um
because
miss
I won't
y'all.
be there.
I'll
yeah,
miss you both. Meh.
hug from Cincinnati area.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks everybody for listening and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks,
All
y'all.
right.
Thank you.
Bye. Hey, y'all. Thank you for listening to the show. And we also want to thank Lindy and Ashley for all their help with everything that they've done over the years for Whale Talk. They are our Instagram heroes, and they answer all your questions and then send them to us if we need to. And we also want to thank you for listening and also participating. If you want to support our show, the best way to do that is to send us questions and to review us on whichever platform you are. So we haven't had very many reviews so far. I mean, you can even leave us a bad review. We'll make fun of you, but you can. And sending us questions always helps us with every episode that we do so that we can make it the best that we can. I hope you enjoyed the episode today, and I hope you enjoy this season.